Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors unto the apostles, bishops, and elders of the great millstone who taught us this truth. Shalom also to the Akim, pushing this word in sincerity and in truth, and to the speckled bird scattered throughout the four corners of the world, and to the few sisters who are listening to you, I say Shalom. Lord willing, this will be an edifying lesson. And as you can see the title of the lesson, it says, everything is coming out on these people. Everything is coming out on these people. Okay, and I'm going to play a video from this guy on Instagram. His name is Eric Warsaw. Okay, you want to go ahead and look up his Instagram page. He's always uploading videos exposing Amalek. All right, and this video in particular, the reason why I want to bring it out is because very recently you had DJ Trump basically call fentanyl, which is an opioid. He said that fentanyl is a weapon of mass destruction. Okay, and you already know how Esau twists the law to serve him and his agenda, and ultimately to bring the hammer down on Jake. So best believe something is going to come out of this whole calling fentanyl a weapon of mass destruction. Okay, so these Edomites, they're moving, man. Okay, every step they take, every legislation they put out is because they're moving closer and closer to that MOTB infrastructure, man. Okay, they're getting closer and closer to that. All right, and before I get the video, I want to get a scripture real quick, because many people, they're seeing all this exposing of the so-called tiny tops, and they're seeing all these videos on the tiny tops come out, and they don't know why. And it's ultimately prophecy, man. It's prophecy that right now the tiny tops are being turned on. The whole world is exposing these devils, man, and their own people too. Okay, you got other Edomites exposing Amalek. All right, so it is very spiritual, actually, that every day on the internet, whether it be Instagram, whether it be YouTube, whether it be TikTok, you know, they bought TikTok through Larry Ellison, who is a tiny top, an Amalekite, a fake chosen person. All right, Larry Ellison, who also has the company named Oracle. They bought TikTok, man. So you can see what's going on, man. Clearly, Amalek is the first of the nations. The earth has been given into the hands of the wicked. Job 9:24. All right, so the wicked are over the earth. But the most beautiful part about prophecy and this word going out is the fact that they're getting exposed. All right, let's get that. This is Habakkuk 2. And you know what? Let's start off at verse 1 real quick. This is Habakkuk 2:1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. And that's ultimately what's going out right now, man. All right, what's going out right now is this truth. And this truth, these visions that are written in these scriptures, we're making it plain upon tables for you. We're making it easy to understand. We're breaking down the word for you, so that through prophecy, you ultimately see, man. You see who is your enemy. You see who to look for, or who to look to for salvation, which we have to look to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Okay, the Most High. All right, whose name is Yahweh, and his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, his real name being Yahweh Shai. And through this gospel is how we come to the knowledge of those things, through these prophecies, through these visions, all right, and through the Holy Spirit, which is the comforter, the understanding of this word. That's how we're going to be guided in all truth, okay? And Yahushua said in John 17:17, sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth. So the word is contained within these holy scriptures, all right? And in these last days, the Lord has put the Holy Spirit upon us, all right, and has given us the testimony of his son, which is the spirit of prophecy. And what we're doing is making these words plain upon tables for you, making it easy to understand, all right? Because right now we're at the end where prophecy is speaking loud and clear, and many people in the world, they all have their own platform. They're all giving their little 2 cents, giving their breakdown on the situation of the world, the geopolitical situation of the world, the position of the so-called chosen people, and how supposedly that's fulfilling prophecy. No, it's not, man. Everybody in the world right now doesn't truly understand what's going on, and they don't have the spirit of prophecy. They don't have the Holy Spirit, so they're not able to make this word plain upon tables or accurately explain what's going on in the world. Because right now, the things going on in the world, it's because of prophecy. All right, it tells you verse 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So we're at the appointed time right now. We're at the end. And right now, since we're at the end, the vision is speaking loud and clear. Every event in the world is speaking to prophecy, man. Okay? From the wars and the rumors of wars to even the position of these Amalekites and the fact that they're getting exposed. Okay? You got these famines, these earthquakes. Okay? You got Esau, Edom, becoming more racist, more blatantly bold on his policies and his legislation, which are really draconian law measures. Okay? So we're at the time where these words are speaking loud and clear, man. And nobody except the prophets, the real prophets of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, is giving you the 100% truth about these people, about the current situation in the world and what's going to be the outcome of it. And so one of the most important things about prophecy is the exposing of the wicked, uncovering who the wicked is, man. That's a very important part of the gospel, of the good news. Because one of the parts of the good news is telling our people that they're going to be delivered from captivity and be delivered out of the hands of their enemies. And at the forefront of our list of enemies is Esau, Edom. Okay? Chiefly the head of the wicked, which is Amalek, the chief of the house of Esau. Okay? These Amalekites, everything is coming out on these people, man. All right, and I'm about to play the video, Salakia, for the long intro. I just wanted to start from verse 1. Okay, the Spirit told me to start from verse 1, all right? But it says right here, Habakkuk 2:16 says, thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. So they're being exposed. You see? The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. So now let's play the video, because this video, it's really shameful spewing. Here it is. They have the Holy Land. Everybody, all these Christians, many Christians in America, because right now with the truth going out, you got a lot of Christians now waking up to the fact that these are not the chosen people, and they're openly on their platform calling it out. But here it is. You got these so-called chosen people. They have the land. They've been having the land since the 1948. All right. They got Christians defending them. You got America sending them millions and billions of dollars year by year, month by month, week by week. You got Congress, who's 90% taken over by them. So here it is. These people basically have the whole world under their rulership. All right, they got America under their rule. Okay, they got other countries dismantled because they basically tell America what to do. Okay, doesn't matter what the people in America think. If Amalek says to do a backflip, America's gonna do a backflip and a side flip plus a front flip. Okay, that's what you politicians and you congressmen and the president is really doing for these tiny tops. Okay, and because people are really noticing that now, every Edomite with a phone, with a platform, is exposing these devils, man. So let's go ahead and play this video, because this is absolutely shameful spewing, man. Everything is coming out on these people, man. All right, the world is embarrassing and exposing and shamefully spewing Amalek, the so-called chosen people. Now listen to this.
Opioid epidemic in America was all due to one Zionist Jewish family, the Sackler family. They're responsible for the deaths of 500,000 Americans, and the severe addiction of between 3 to 6 million Americans, which had their lives ruined, pushed away from their families, living on the streets, and many even ending up in jail. Unlike the Sackler family, which in the end would not serve any jail time at all. In the mid-90s, the Sackler family produced a pill called Oxycontin, which could not get FDA approved because it was so strong and addictive that it was actually considered stronger than street level H. The Sackler family had to bribe the FDA into pushing it through.
So as you can see, once something doesn't work out for them, what do? They start to bribe people. They start to give them money. Okay, because if there's one thing that these Amalekites have, being the first of the nations, is absolute capital. They have capital that you can't even imagine. They have gold, they have silver, they're liquid. Okay, so if anybody doesn't agree with their agenda or whatever they want to push, they just bribe them. And if that person doesn't take the bribe, then they kill the person, set up who they want to put in there, and then they don't pay that person or bribe that person or whatever. They have them in their pocket, basically, man. That's what these wicked devils do, man. Okay, they lie, they cheat, they steal. Let's get a scripture on that, because that's what the thief does, man. That's what the wicked do. Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man and the self-proclaimed chosen people. You self-proclaimed chosen people that think you fulfilled biblical prophecy in 1948. You're Esau too. You're Amalek. You're the first of the nations, you piece of shit. Fuck Esau, man. Straight up. These devils, man, all they do is lie, they cheat, and they steal, man. This is John 10:10. The thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. This guy said in the beginning of the video that over 500,000 Americans have died as a result of this families, the Sackler family, pushing out this drug, and over 3 to 6 million people addicted to it, man. You see that? And then you got so-called Christians going over there to the land of Israel. 1,000 Christian pastors, American Christian pastors, by the way, who are basically gonna go over there to defend Israel, to defend the tiny tops. But here it is, over 500,000 Americans have died as a result of this family. You see the Edomite on Edomite violence, and this is what's causing a lot of people to speak up against these wicked ass tiny tops, man. People in America, whether young or old, everybody from California to New York, everybody, man, the whole United States, in every 50 states, there's somebody speaking against these people, man, making videos against them, or doing responses to it, or going on a podcast about it. But everybody's turning on these wicked elite, man, on these freaking small hatters, man. All they do is come to steal and to kill and to destroy. That's all they do, man. Every revolution that they have partaken in, every single time that they've gotten power structure of any kind, whether it's the state of Israel, whether it was the Bolshevik revolution, whether it was the transatlantic slave trade, whatever it was, they were right there in the background of it, running every single aspect of it, man. All right? Stealing, killing, destroying. And see, now in the modern world, they don't just openly do it. They do it through the drugs, they do it through the banking system, they do it through the media, they do it through the food, they do it through the systems of control that they have ultimately laid as a foundation right here in America, man. Every single aspect of America is being ran by a fucking Amalekite, man. Straight up. The faces you see are not the ones in the background actually pulling the strings, man. All right? These are the puppet masters, okay? And America is the puppet that they're controlling, man. Straight up. And it doesn't matter whether you Edomites out there are now finally starting to expose these devils. These devils don't care that you know the shit that they're doing unto you, man. They don't care. Esau, Edom, especially Amalek, the Amalekite counterpart, they don't care, man. They're wicked. All right? Especially with that whole Epstein situation. They don't care that you people know, man. They're not going to let you find out more things about it, but they don't care that you know, man. All right? Let's keep playing this video. Salakia.
There's blame on the FDA for that because they're supposed to protect us from this sort of stuff. And for the next 24 years, while receiving data that this pill was addictive and killing people, the Sackler family was still pushing pharmacists to prescribe it to their patients.
So as you can see, they were getting actual information, studies, where they were being told that the drug was killing people. But nah, see, it was so profitable. They were making so much money that they were still telling doctors to push that drug, man. Their pharmakia, okay? These pharmaceutical drugs, man. Then you got fucking Donald Trump talking about some, oh yeah, fentanyl's a weapon of mass destruction. What do you think they're about to do, man? And then it's a lot of Edomites that are addicted to that, man. There's a lot of Edomites that are addicted to that drug. But guess what? They're going to come after Jake for it, man. They're going to come after Jake for it, even though it was the Sackler family, a fucking tiny top family that bribed the FDA, allowed it to get pushed. And despite the studies and the information that they knew about the drug and how it was killing people and how addictive it was, nah, they said, nah, we're still going to keep pushing it, man. That's how wicked Esau, Edom is, especially the tiny tops, man.
And pushing it out there to all everyday Americans to get addicted so that they can make insane amounts of money, billions of dollars. And the money that they gain destroying society and causing all this addiction, they use that money to put their names all inside museums, colleges, even hospitals. They even use that money to fund anti-Muslim groups and even funded big politicians, Republican and Democrat, like Bush and Obama, and helped to fund fellow Zionist Jewish politicians like Chuck Schumer and keep them into office. They used money off our destruction to promote themselves and keep their people in power. And how does the story end? We don't know how much money they profited off of this, but we know it was at least over $10 billion from how much they siphoned off their own pharma business. They received no jail time whatsoever. They're addict.
You know what? Now that he said that they received no jail time, that reminds me of man, the spirit is so amazing, man. Call Halam la Yahweh Shem Yahweh for the spirit, man. Because if it wasn't for the spirit, these precepts wouldn't be meeting us in our thoughts, man. It's the Holy Spirit that, you know, is feeding us these precepts. All right. And the spirit right now fed me this precept. It says right here, Psalms 73:3. It says, for I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. When you look at the wicked of the world, the Edomites, you know, they're prospering right now. They have lands, they have resources, they have every power structure under their control. You have Amalek, who is basically like the little, you know, the little puppet master behind every power structure, okay? And everything that they have, every single power structure that they have built up right now, man, they're literally in prosperity, man. The whole world has been given into their hands. It tells you in Job 9:24 that the earth has been given into the hands of the wicked. So the wicked are ruling the earth. And not only are they ruling the earth, but they're actually prospering. Okay? They're prospering in their wicked counsels and their wicked deeds, and whatever wicked plan or invention they come up with, they go ahead and do it. They have the resources to fund their research, and whatever wicked experiments they want to go and do, they go ahead and do it. Case in point, this whole video that we're playing right now, man. They were literally having studies being told that that drug was addictive and killing people, but they didn't care, man. It was making them money. These Amalekites, all they care about is money, the material world. Okay? That's all they care about. They're in prosperity, man. You see, it says, for there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. Look at their military power, man. All right? Right now, regardless of the whole world rising up against these Amalekites and exposing them and so on and so forth, what is their response to that? Now you got all these false flag attacks in Australia. All right, that shooting that happened on Bondi Beach. All right, and now you got so-called BB Milikowski, Benjamin not a Jew, saying that there has to be consequences for this, and if there's anybody who's being anti-Semitic, that they're ultimately going to get put to death or something. So you can see what's going on, man. All right, their strength is firm. They have military power. They have prosperity. They're on top. They're not, like it says right here, verse 5, they are not in trouble as other men. The Sackler family, none of them got jail time for that drug being pushed. None of them. All right? None of them are in jail for extortion. None of them are in jail for bribery. None of them are in jail for perjury. None of them are in jail for none of the laws that they have broken. Here it is. They bribed the FDA to push this drug. They knew that it was killing people, and they still pushed it. That's who these people are, man. It says, neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain. Violence covereth them as a garment. And that's what you see, man. Since they're not in trouble as other men, and they know that their strength is firm, they have all this military power, and they actually lean on it. They lean on the military power, man. All right? You got guys like Pete Hegseth, who's the head of the Department of War. That guy is absolutely on a power trip, man. Has absolutely no military experience, but since he is the head of the sword of America, he feels like hot shit, man. Because he knows that the military in America is a relatively compared to other militaries, is a very strong military, man. So their strength is firm. And not only that, but they have the courts on their side. Literally, man. They're not in trouble as other men. They don't get jail time for none of the crimes that they have committed. And then you got this whole genocide that's going on in Gaza, right? And you have the International Court of Justice who's trying to convict BB Milikowski, but because America is protecting BB Milikowski, the International Court of Justice cannot arrest them. They're not in trouble as other men. I mean, damn, bro. That's the wicked, man.
Victims ended up doing more time than them, and they had to pay a $7 billion fine, which they still made a huge profit. They got away with this because they're a bunch of Zios, our court system's run by a bunch of Zios, and our media protects them, and they're a bunch of Zios too. They're all together, and they're all part of the same system that uses us and destroys us and profits in the process. And they don't care about us. They only care about themselves.
So as you can see, man, Esau, Edom, is waking up to this, man. This is honestly the sentiment all over the internet. Everywhere you go, no matter what platform it is, there's a lot of Edomites speaking against these people. And that's honestly, if you really think about it, that's the reason why these small hatters are sending, that's why they're sending 1,000 pastors over here to America. American pastors, by the way. They got 1,000 American pastors to fly to Israel, and basically they're being given a script. Okay? They're being given a script to come back to America and defend Israel, the brand of Israel. And that's what the guy who the Friends of Zion Museum said. The very guy who got those 1,000 pastors to come to Israel, that's what he said. He said they're going to ultimately be sent to America to defend the brand of Israel and to combat anti-Semitism. And why do you think that is, man? Because right now, the whole world, everybody is speaking up against these people, man. There's so much exposing going on, so much evidence coming out on these people. It's amazing. All right? Everywhere you look, man, you look left, you look right, you look up, you look down. These people are getting exposed, man. Their foreskin is being uncovered. They're being exposed, and shameful spewing is upon their glory. And what this is going to result in is more division between Esau and Edom. Because right now, they're already a house divided. And what do the scriptures say about that? It tells you right here in Matthew 12 and 25. It says, Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And right now, this kingdom is the most divided it's ever been. I mean, America has literally splintered into so many subgroups of radical left and right people. It's just, it's a fucking headache watching the people and their talking points and what they're talking about. This place is divided, man. You got the left versus the right, the vaxxed versus the non-vaxxed, the pro-abortion versus the we're the non-abortion people. You got the we're for Israel, and then the let's stop Zionism. This place is literally divided on every front, and the most important they're actually divided on the most important politics. They're divided on the most important topics, man. Okay, you've never seen America as divided as it is now. This place is falling apart and is going to be brought to desolation. So it's very beautiful that now what we're seeing is other Edomites using their platform to speak against these small hatters. Okay, it says, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. The house of Esau is divided against itself. You see? And then when you go and look up what the Amalekites believe, what these rabbis teach, they say that Christians are Esav. All right? That Americans are Esav. But when it comes to defending their public image, let's get 1,000 Christian pastors to come and help us. But then there's the Sackler family who has killed over 500,000 Americans. How about that? Look at this. I looked up how many Americans died as a result of the opioid epidemic in America. And it says cumulative deaths since the late 1990s. From 1999 to 2023, there were an estimated approximately 806. Oh my goodness, man. That's a lot. That's a big number. 806,000 opioid-involved overdose deaths in the U.S., including both prescription and illicit opioids such as H and fentanyl. You see that? So There's a lot of people dying as a result of this. A lot of Edomites, okay, dying because of this. So as you can see, these so-called chosen people, they don't care what happens to you white people. That's why they were promoting this drug. That's why the Sackler family, who are tiny tops, that's why they were promoting this drug to you. And look, you got actual people protesting against them. It says the rise and fall of the Sacklers' opioid empire. Shame on the Sackler. 200 dead each day. Look at that, man. 200 Edomite Americans dying every day as a result of opioids. And who is the problem? Not a black person, not a Hispanic person, not a Native American person, not a speckled bird, but the so-called chosen people, the Sackler family. Okay, and guess what? They even knew that the drug was killing people and that it was more addictive than H. And they didn't care. They still pushed it. They even bribed the FDA to approve it. Look at that, man. They spent the money that they made from this drug to promote themselves and make hospitals. Think about that, man. These are high-level drug dealers. You see that? Esau, Edom, and Amalek, they're high-level drug dealers. They're the ones that are lying and killing and stealing and destroying people. They're the ones that are legislating the laws that are destroying people. They are the ones that are making the drugs that are destroying people. They are the ones that have the researchers and the scientists in their pocket to not push and bring out condemning evidence against the drugs that they want to push out. They freaking, bribe Congress to legislate money or laws to go and, actually protect them. And then they make Congress approve large sums amount of money to be sent to Israel to go and kill more people. You see with the cycle of what these Amalekites are doing, man. Why do you think so much exposing is going on these out on these people, man? And then they want to take the stands and say, oh, they're being anti-Semitic. They're haters because we're Jews. No, you're being exposed because first and foremost, you're not the real Jews. You're not the real Israelites. You're the fake. You have absolutely hijacked an identity that doesn't even belong to you. You do not match up with none of the prophecies. And also, for the past 70, 80 years, you've been doing nothing but lying, cheating, and stealing while calling yourself the chosen people, man. And before the 1948 situation happened, them fake tiny tops are, they're the problem behind every war that has transpired, man. Okay? When you look up the Bolshevik Revolution, all right, the Bolsheviks, they were the ones that overthrew the Russian monarchy. Okay? You had Leon Trotsky and Vladimir Lenin rile up, and build, these Russians. And, basically, they were tiny tops, man. They were small hatters. And you know what happened as a result of that so-called Bolshevik revolution, which the Bolsheviks were tiny tops. When they overthrew the Russian government at that time, the Tsars, and put themselves up in power, they ended up killing over 60 million people, man. You see? 60 million people. But now, all we gotta think about is remember the 6 million that died during the 1940s, right? The so-called 6 million. Nah, man. There's a reason why so many videos are coming out on these tiny tops, man. They're the problem of the world. They're the problem behind every ideology that's poisoning people. They're behind every drug that has killed people. And don't look at us, man. The so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American man has no power. They don't have no power structure to absolutely push out these deadly drugs and push out this and push out that. And that's not to say that Jake is not a piece of shit, because 2/3 of our nation, a lot of them are drug dealers. A lot of them are doing wicked shit, but not on the scale that Esau Edom is doing it, man. That's why I said earlier that they're the real drug dealers. They're the biggest drug dealers, man. These fucking Amalekites. They have the courts. They have the media on their side. They have absolutely everything, man. These are the wicked of the earth. Let's go back to Psalms 73. They're not in trouble as other men. And that's not a blessing, actually. That means that the Lord hates you. Your end is gonna be absolutely terrible. And if Amalek, the tiny top, is doing this to his own people, the Edomites, what do you think he's doing unto us, the real children of Israel? If Esau Edom, the Sackler family, these fucking Amalekites had the cojones, the balls to really fucking push this shit on other Edomites in America, okay, good American Christians, you know, you gotta say it like that. If they do this to their own kind, other Edomites, what do you think they're gonna do to you real Israelites that they hate? These Amalekites, they hate black people, all right? They hate so-called Mexicans. They hate Native Americans. They hate the 12 tribes of Israel, the real 12 tribes of Israel, which make up, you know, the majority of the 12 tribes of Israel are made up of so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And also, we've been scattered throughout the whole world, so there's going to be Israelites that look like the other nations. You're going to have Israelites that look like even the tiny tops, okay? That's something we teach right here at GMS. It's the truth, man. We've been scattered everywhere. We're everywhere. So there's going to be Israelites that look like Asians. There's going to be Israelites that look like white people, Edomites. All right, there's going to be Israelites that look like Moabites and Ishmaelites. There's going to be Israelites that look like everything, man, because we've been scattered throughout the whole world. You see? And part of this gospel going out is also exposing who our enemy is. All right, and what they're doing to the world, and what they're doing unto us, and what they're doing to their own people, man. We have to expose the wicked, man. We have to keep our foot on Amalek's neck. Just like Elder Malcolm does, week in and week out, day in and day out, man. You got Elder Malcolm who constantly keeps his foot on Amalek's neck. So let's go ahead and do the same thing, man. Okay? Let's keep our foot on fucking Amalek's neck. Fuck Amalek, man. The Lord said he's going to have war with Amalek from generation to generation. All right? And right now, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the pulling down of strongholds. The Lord has armed us with the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. So don't keep back your sword from blood. Expose these devils, man. Research them. Know who your enemy is. Research the Sackler family. Research B.B. Milikowski. Research the families and the prominent families amongst the Amalekites and do videos on them, man. Expose these devils, man. Don't give them no rest. Expose these fucking devils. Keep putting them to the fire, man. Keep your foot on their fucking neck. All right? Fuck Amalek. Straight up. Fuck them, bro. Their pride is being broken every day. Yeah, pride has compassed them about as a chain, but every day that they're being exposed, that pride is being chipped away, man. Their heart is sinking every time they go on the internet and they see another video of a Hebrew Israelite exposing them. They're afraid, man. That's why they're putting themselves in a position where they want to challenge this truth. Why do you think they're putting up 1,000 pastors to come to America to defend them? Because this truth is going out so heavily, man. And as a result of it, so many people all over the world are exposing these tiny tops. It isn't just the Hebrew Israelites exposing these tiny tops. It's people with big platforms. All right? But it says right here, back in Psalms 73 and 7, their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than their heart could wish. How much money? They made $10 billion from this drug. $10 billion, man. You'll be lucky if you ever even see 100K as an Israelite. All right? Straight up, man. Right here, we are poor, man. But these devils who are not in trouble as other men, who are covered with pride, who are on top of everybody else, and their strength is firm, and you know, they're ultimately they got it. You know, they're at the top. But very soon, they're not gonna have it. Very soon, this whole situation that they're in is gonna be flipped right side up. They're gonna be put down and put into slavery, and eventually in the kingdom, after they serve their captivity, they're gonna be annihilated, man. That's what's gonna happen to you, Amalekites. You fake chosen people that are posing yourselves as the Israelites, but you're really Edomites too. Fucking Amalek. They have more than their hearts could wish, man. They have the Congress in their pocket. So let's say they want to start a new war. All they got to do is get the Congress to be on their side, and it's very easy to have the Congress on their side. All they got to do, you know, is give money to them. That's what AIPAC does. That's what these lobbyists do. All right? They want to start a new war to get that land. They will do it. All right? They will do it. They have more than their heart could wish, man. It says verse 8, they are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. They're very prideful, man. They're very prideful in the way that they address these matters, even when they get asked about it. You know, you'll see those videos of a panel. They're on a panel answering questions, and then out of nowhere you'll have an Edomite in the audience who will just stand up and start saying like, the Sackler family has killed over 500,000 Americans, and you're the reason why 3.6 or 6 million Americans are addicted to opioids. And you know, then they'll have the security guard kick them out and shit. And all the people right there, the investors, they're like all kind of embarrassed, trying to tell the person to shut up. Then the person on stage, the person answering the questions, they're getting all red because they're getting exposed before the whole audience. All right, and then finally, when the person gets kicked out, what do? They say, man, that guy was crazy, man. You know, these people are corrupt, man. And when it comes to oppression, they speak wickedly. The topic of oppression, they tell you, just forget about it. That doesn't matter. Here, remember the 6 million that died during World War II. Remember, the Australia attack on Bondi Beach. Remember what happened on October 7th. Don't think about what happened during slavery. Don't think about what happened to your people. Don't think about the war on drugs and all the mass amounts of our people that are in jail as a result of it. Don't think about all the terrible things that I did to you during slavery. Don't think about those things. All right, those things don't matter. That was the past. When it comes to oppression, these people are they speak loftily, man, with their chest puffed out, and ultimately because they know they're not going to get in trouble for that. They're not going to be convicted in this world, because this world is ran by them. And that's why their judgment is going to be so sweet, so beautiful, man. Because the judgment that's coming upon them for all this wickedness is going to be a judgment from on high, from Yahushai. You see, the Most High is going to send his son a second time to not only deliver his people out of the hands of their enemies, but to destroy the wicked, to destroy these Edomites. All right. He's coming to fulfill Isaiah, the 63rd chapter, man. All right. There's going to be a lot of dead Edomites in these last days, and a lot of Edomites in captivity and put in chains in these last days, man. All right. And Yahushua is going to be the one to do it. because we have no power over here. Our only power is leaning on Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, and waiting for the return of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, waiting for Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, because that's how we're going to be redeemed out of this situation, man. And that's why this truth is so important, because this truth gives us understanding. And once you have understanding, you have peace. All right? You have peace knowing that these wicked individuals are eventually going to be put down. You have peace knowing that it's not always going to be like this, and that salvation is on its way, and that Yahweh Shai has given us a comforter, man. He did not leave us comfortless. He gave us the truth, and he gave us prophecy to understand the events playing out right before our face, man, so that we stay rooted, and this wisdom and knowledge could be the stability of our times. Because right now, everybody in the world, they're angry, they're mad, they're confused, they're ashamed. All right, they're all over the place, man. You see? But right here, the prophets, we know the truth, man. So we have peace. We have peace knowing that this devil's destruction is coming. We have peace knowing that the house of the wicked is divided and on its way to desolation. We have peace knowing that the wicked are being exposed every day. We have peace knowing that the downfall of our enemy is progressively coming every single day. Every day is getting closer and closer to the downfall of Esau, Edom, and the uprising of our kingdom, man. All right? Every day we're getting closer, man. And the constant exposing of these devils is honestly evidence of that, man. These devils are being exposed every day, man. They can't go anywhere and be at peace. So much for being the so-called chosen people, right? Here it is, you're the chosen people. You're in Jerusalem, Yerushalayim, the teaching of peace. You're not teaching nothing of peace. You got the biggest gay parade over there. Everything that these people do proves they're not the real chosen people, man. Okay? And we have peace knowing this, because this devil is not only getting exposed, but he's about to be destroyed, man. All right? He's about to be destroyed. So let's keep reading. It says, Psalm 73:9, they set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth. Look at the lies that they have told, starting from 1492 until right now. Every lie that they have told has been a foundational monument to the government of America that they have built. Every lie, every ideology, everything that they have set against the heavens, because the religion that has sprung up from the late 1400s, that is basically Esau speaking against the heavens. Look at what they did to the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Look at how they botched up the image of the sun. Look at how they botched up the true message of the gospel. Look at how they botched up who the real children of Israel are, man. These people, all they do is lie. Their tongue walks through the earth. Their lies have people under a mass delusion, man. Okay, their lies are a stronghold on the people. And that's why this truth going out is so heavy. And that's why they're trying to stop it, because this truth is ultimately freeing the minds of the elect, and ultimately also freeing the minds of the people, man. Because even though certain people don't agree, and they don't agree because they're not part of the elect, but a lot of people watch our videos, man, and they take our talking points and they take the things that they agree with and they run with it, and they ultimately, little by little, whatever stronghold that they were under, they get freed from it for a moment when they hear this truth. Then you have an Edomite will eventually, will start getting on these Amalekites, man. And that's because of the vibration of this truth going out. You see? It says, therefore his people return hither, and waters of a full cup are wrung out to them. And they say, how does God know? Is there knowledge in the Most High? Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches. And, you know, you should be right now thinking about that video we watched. Okay? They made $10 billion of basically killing people and pushing that drug. Everything is coming out on these people, man. Everything. They are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches. It says, verily, I have cleansed my heart in vain and washed my hands in innocency. And now that's the author, you know, the one that wrote this psalm, because he's seen the prosperity of the wicked. And he's basically saying, like, man, I basically cleansed my hands for no reason. It was for nothing. It was in vain. And I washed my hands in innocency for no reason. I basically did this for no reason. Here it is. I'm serving the Lord. I'm cleansing my heart, washing my hands in innocency. But the wicked, they're prospering. The wicked, they're not in trouble as other men. The wicked, their strength is firm. So it's a psalm of Asaph. So Asaph is looking at this situation like, man, these people are absolutely wicked. They're ungodly. When it comes to oppression, they speak loftily. Their tongue walks through the earth. They're increasing in riches. They're ungodly. They're against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. They set their mouth against the heavens. They speak against the Most High and the Lord. They speak against his people, but they're prospering. So in his heart, or really, you know, as he's, you know, saying this and seeing this, Asaph said, yeah, I basically, you know, I verily I cleansed my heart in vain. What was the point of this? But let's keep reading. It says, for all the day long have I been plagued and chastened every morning. If I say I will speak thus, behold, I should offend against the generation of thy children. When I thought to know this, it was too painful for me until I went into the sanctuary of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. Then understood I their end. You see? So Asaph, this was basically something that was heavy on his spirit, man. This was something that was messing with him. Because it tells you in verse 3, it says, I'm going to start off at verse 2. It says, Psalm 73 and 2, but as for me, my feet were almost gone. My steps had well nigh slipped. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. You see, so the emotion that and what he was experiencing was he was envious at the foolish. He was envious at the prosperity of the wicked. He was looking at what they had, and he was looking at their situation, on they're not in trouble as other men. So he's expressing like, man, like I basically cleansed my heart in vain. But it wasn't until he went into the sanctuary of the Lord that he understood the end of the ungodly. And that's what represents, you know, you coming to the Lord through Yahushai. Because Yahushai is that sanctuary. When you come to the truth, when you repent and turn back to the Lord through the only begotten Son, Yahushai, who is the way, the truth, and the life, when you go to that sanctuary, then you're going to understand the end of these Edomites. Then you're going to understand why they're in this lofty position, why they're not in trouble as other men, why they're able to so-called get away with this. And ultimately, they're not getting away with nothing, man. The Lord is not going to acquit the wicked. There's a very terrible judgment coming to these people, man. And that's why they're not in trouble as other men. The Lord is allowing them to ultimately stack up their sins and stack up their tab to destroy them once and for all at the end, you see? And it's going to start off with the destruction of Babylon the Great and the enslavement of the Edomites. All right. And when they're in captivity for 1,000 years, at the end of those 1,000 years, they're going to be annihilated, man. Okay. So imagine what the Lord showed unto Asaph, because it says that he understood their end. So imagine what the Lord comforted him with, because it says, verse 18, surely thou didst set them in slippery places. Thou didst cast them down into destruction. How are they brought into desolation as in a moment? They are utterly consumed with terrors. They're going to be brought to desolation in a moment. Yahushua said it. He said, I saw Satan fall as lightning. Let's get that. This is Luke 10 and 18. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. So the lofty position that they're in right now is likened unto them being in the heavens. But Satan, who is the self-proclaimed white man, their biblical identity being the Edomites, they're going to fall as lightning from heaven. Their downfall is going to be very quick, very swift. All right? When Yahushua comes to destroy Babylon the Great and to deliver the elect from these Edomites, from our captors, from our oppressors, there's going to be a hostile takeover, man. The scriptures tell you that, like going back to that Psalms, it says that they're going to be brought to desolation in a moment. And Yahushua is telling you that he beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Well, when you get to the book of Revelation, the last book in the scriptures, it tells you that Babylon the Great, it says right here, Revelation 18 and 10, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, which is America, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. So this place is going to be destroyed in 1 hour. That's how swift the judgment is going to be. That's how terrible the judgment is going to be. So if you're ever in that mentality of, man, well, these people, they're not in trouble. These people get away with things. They're not getting away with shit, man. Esau ain't getting away with shit. With nothing, nada. They're Esau, Edom. You're not getting away with shit, nigga. All right? Go enjoy your little $10 billion, all right? You Sackler family bitches, motherfuckers. Go enjoy your little shit, man. Go enjoy your little 10 billion trillion dollars that you got, whatever, man. Go enjoy your little liquid bullshit money that you got right now, because very soon all of that is going to be taken away from you, man. Straight up. This is James 5 and 1. Go to now, you rich men. Weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. You have heaped treasure together for the last days. So, you rich men, you elites, the ones that rule this society right now, the elite ruling class, you tiny tops that are not in trouble as other men, we understand your end, and we understand that the Most High God has put you in slippery places, and everything that you have amounted to, every single aspect of your riches that you got right now, it's all going to be stripped away. And you're going to be brought to nothing. You're going to face nothing but miseries very soon. Okay? And ultimately, you're going to face nuclear destruction. All right? You're going to face nuclear destruction, and you elites, you're going to run to your bunkers, but the elect are going to find out where you are and put you in chains, okay? They're going to find out where you at. You're not going to be able to hide from the elect, from the army of the Lord. You're not going to be able to hide, okay? We're going to find you. We're going to search you out. You're going to be destroyed, man, if we are those men, Lord willing, all right? But the elect, this is what they're going to do, man. This is Jeremiah 16 and 16. Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. So these fishers that the Lord has sent out to fish men and to push this word out there, they're going to be turned into hunters. So the elect, once Yahushua comes back and we're put into those new bodies and we come back down on earth, guess what, man? We're gonna put you elite into chains. We're gonna hunt you out of every mountain, every hill, and out of every rock that you're hiding under. Because the Bible says that these elites are gonna hide in the bunkers. Okay? It tells you that in Revelation, the 6th chapter. All right, it says Revelation 6:15, and the kings of the earth and the great men and the rich men and the chief captains and the mighty men and every bondman and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? So when Yahushua comes back and the whole world sees his return, it says every eye shall see him, right? Revelation 1:7. So every eye is going to see the Lord's return, all right? It's going to be a visible return, you see? And when he comes, the kings of the earth, the elite, the ruling class of this earth right now, they're going to hide in their bunkers. They're going to hide in the rocks of the mountains, which is really code words for bunkers. All right. And it's not just going to be them. It's going to be the great men, the rich men, the chief captains. All right. The mighty men and every bondman. So they're going to go down there with their slaves, with their different peoples, their different presidents, different people that run different shit for them. All right. You really think Esau, Edom is going to go in these bunkers and be working? Hell no, man. They have, I don't even want to go into that, but these Edomites are very bugged out, man. But everything that they're doing is playing right into prophecy. So it's beautiful, man. These Edomites that are not in trouble as other men, keep doing what you're doing, man. You have been set up to fall, and ultimately you were set up to go out and deceive the nations to ultimately bring this World War III. So keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep sending your 1,000 pastors to America. Keep pushing out your opioids and your little drugs and your little pharmakia. Keep pushing your ideologies. Keep getting so-called away. Keep getting away with what you think you're getting away with. Because Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is tallying up every single crime, every single sin, every single wicked thing that you're doing, even your thoughts. And you are going to be repaid. All right? You're going to be destroyed in 1 hour. Your great mighty kingdom that you built up is going to be destroyed in 1 hour. You're going to be brought to desolation in a moment. Wow, man. Call halam la Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. The water Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that we even know that. There's a lot of niggas out there that know they're Israelites, but do not know anything about prophecy concerning Esau, Edom. And they even take it a step further and say that Esau, Edom could be saved. Those niggas are through, man. Count yourself blessed if you are in GMS and there is an elder, multiple elders in your camp that are always studying prophecy, always making lessons and actually teaching you, man, because that's what Great Millstone is about. Okay? Right here in GMS Chicago, the elders over the camp, man, all they're focused on is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and that's it, man. These other camps out here, they're not focused on prophecy. They're not focused on the word of the Lord. They're not focused on sound doctrine, man. And one of the most important parts of this sound doctrine is who the wicked is. All right. And facing your face, putting your face against Mount Seir, prophesying against Esau, Edom. That's one of the most important parts of this gospel. Okay. The part of this good news is showing our people who their enemy is, man. Okay? Which are the Edomites, the biblical Edomites. And these people, they're not in trouble as other men. They think they're getting away with their crimes. They're getting no jail time. They're getting tens of billions of dollars. They have everybody in their pocket. They're doing all this wickedness, doing all this weird shit in the dark, but they're not getting away with none of this, man. When you come to the sanctuary of the Lord, you're going to understand their end, and you're going to understand that the Most High God, Yahweh, has set them in slippery places, and we're in the time frame of prophecy where we're seeing their end. All right? So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. All right? And Lord willing, I'm gonna keep doing responses to this Eric Warsaw guy, because he's been actually posting a lot of videos against the tiny tops, man. And he could be a Jake, because our people, like I said earlier, our people are scattered everywhere. So there's gonna be Israelites that even look like this guy, Eric Warsaw. So he could be an Edomite, he could be a Jake, who knows? All right. If he's not part of the elect, then it don't matter if he's an Israelite. He's not going to make it anyways. All right? But right now, you see the sentiment of the world, man. Prophetically, this is right on point with what the scriptures say, that the Edomites, the wicked, all right, they would have shameful spewing upon their glory, man. All right? It says that the man of sin would be revealed before that great and terrible day. So right now, the wicked of the earth, for a very long time had their identity covered up, all right, through the hijack of saying they're the chosen people. Now that's no longer working, and people are starting to point the finger at them and call them Edomites. All right, you got the Hebrew Israelites constantly making videos about them, calling them Edomites. Now you got Edomites calling them Edomites, you see? And then you got other Edomites all over the world exposing these people, man. It's beautiful. So with that, Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors unto the apostles, bishops, and elders of the great millstone who taught us this truth. Shalom and Abba, Wakwam Yasharallah.